Hey guys, this is Tiggy Maximus back again. This is Tiggy Maximus Talks, episode 219 on Spotify and YouTube. Well, I'm back, guys. Um, been to a couple comedy shows. One in Hollywood off of Melrose, and then I came back to the Turquoise Europa Cafe where my car got hit about over a year ago. um, by the old man on probation. So, two shows I want to talk about. Um, we got Hollywood comedy. So, this place is out on Melrose in Hollywood. Nice, intimate venue. I believe it's owned by the one and only Jiaying Summers. And she has um, Evan Sanforo helping to run it in her absence. We got quite a lineup. We got the host, Alex Clark, Evan Sanfaro. Um, we also have Vanya Renee, who I was actually there to see, actually. Finally got to meet her. Brian Wool. He also works and helps out with Evan at the Hollywood Comedy. Carlos Feliciano, Danny B, Dan King, he's the door guy. Jeannie Sykes, I've seen her before for the Pretty Funny Women. Mitchell Lamar, Emily Kohler, who happens to run the open mic at the Hollywood Comedy, and we got Nick Borsellino. Quite a lineup. I gotta say, it was a intimate crowd. There was probably probably about 12 of us in the crowd, and I would say half of them was fans like myself, and the other half you got basically the all the comics. And Alex Clark got to host the whole show, and he had a lot of great jokes. Um, I liked a lot of the material he had. Um, for a host, he did pretty well. Got all the people there pretty much laughing like myself. And I gotta say, Alex Clark, I'm glad that he gets to perform in San Diego and LA. So he is close by for most people to see him. And so if you have a chance to go see Alex Clark between the two cities or anywhere else, go see him. Guy's pretty funny, and he's just gonna make you and anybody else laugh for most of the time he's up there. So I'm gonna say Alex Clark, 8.8 out of 10. Evan Sanforo, like I said, he helps out with running the Hollywood Comedy Club, small intimate room. Um, I've seen him perform in San Diego. I've seen him quite a few times perform in LA, and he he did like to point out that some of the decor, um, there were a bunch of like vinyl albums being hung up on a side wall by the stage, and it just so happens that some of the vinyl albums has um, has a CD that has what looks like Dragon Ball Z. Has one of the characters from Dragon Ball Z. As he placed it on the ground. Um, but you know, it's always kind of cool talking about your surroundings, and he did so. Um, he had some good jokes. He kind of like talked about his lookalikes, like how what was it, Hogwarts. I think he also talked about Jelly Roll, and that was kind of kind of cool that he can own up his appearance. So I would say overall, Evan Sanforo is a 8.4 out of 10. I believe next up was Vanya Renee. I've seen her Instagram account and flyers around, usually for LA shows from other comics, and then her and I we follow each other on Instagram, so it was kind of cool seeing what her comedy is about. And I gotta say, she's a very fast talker, which also means that she's a very fast thinker too. Um, but it's kind of cool. I like this. I like to see new comics, and she did all right. Crowd liked her, and she talked about dating and alcohol, drinking. Um, um, but I gotta say, with the fast talking that she does, it I was kind of like slow to pick up on the next joke because I'm thinking about the funny part from the previous thing that she said. So, but overall, she's a quick thinker and she's funny. Um, I would say half the crowd was probably laughing, and then she kind of did some crowd work, figuring out what people did, what people do. Um, she, I would have wanted her to ask me some questions, but I guess because she kind of knows me, she would avoid asking me questions for crowd work. So, by the way, San Padres opening day today, playing against the Atlanta Braves at home. Gotta support my jersey. This is the Joe Musgrove jersey, basketball jersey they gave out. I think I got this last year. Uh, can't remember who the Padres are playing. I want to say the Padres are playing the what used to be the Oakland Athletics, but now they're called the Sacramento Athletics. Up until they get their Las Vegas baseball stadium up and running, and then we can call them the Las Vegas Athletics at some point. Probably 2028, 2029, maybe. Um, but yeah, Danya Renee, I gotta say, she was an 8.2 out of 10. I don't mind seeing her again, but next person up was Brian Wool, and he helps out um, with the Hollywood Comedy Room Club. Um, he has some funny jokes. I think it was the first time I've seen him actually. Crowd liked him a lot. Um, he seems like a really cool guy to talk to, and I got to talk to him before and after the show. And I want to say he was an 8.7 out of 10. Next up was Carlos Feliciano. Um, I think I saw him when I first came in. First time, first time seeing him. Um, some good jokes, but I think it was a few people probably laughed at all the things he was saying. Um, I want to say Carlos Feliciano 7.9 out of 10. And then next up was Danny B. First time seeing her. I think she talked about how she was married to I think she said a Mexican firefighter. So, and then she kind of acted out some of the stuff, their behavior at home. And I guess she described him as a sloth. So I guess he's always moves around slowly on purpose. So, but she did talk about dating, and she talked about kids. from what I remembered. Um, but I would say there are some good parts that she had the crowd laughing, but um, the other half, give or take, I think it may not have caught on with the people in the crowd, audience, and comics together. So I want to say Danny B was a 7.9 out of 10. Next up, we have the door guy from the Hollywood comedy, Dan King. Um, he has some dark jokes. Um, I think he talked about another job that he had. Um, I would say crowd kind of liked him, but also there were times that there it was kind of silent, but he did get some good laughs when he did tell some really funny stuff. Um, I want to say he was 8 out of 10. Next up, we have Jeannie Sykes. I've seen her before. Um, yeah, I saw her before at the Pretty Funny Women show. I think at the Comedy Store in La Jolla, and it's usually run by Lisa Sunstead. Um, she talks about how she dressed young, but she's older. Um, and she kind of owned up to the fact that she could probably date some younger guys if she wanted to. Uh, Other than that, she did talk about drugs, cocaine, um, younger guys with drugs, and if she ever wanted to get drugs and get high, she could always seduce the younger guy because she dresses young. So that was kind of cool, and she got the crowd laughing like I was. So I would say she was a 8.6 out of 10. Next up, we have a guy by the name of Mitchell Lamar. I guess he told everyone that he is a bartender at a sports bar. So, but he says that he doesn't like it. Um, he does act very flamboyant. Um, he had his back to the wall for the whole thing mostly. But yeah, he talks about dating. Stuff happens at the bar. Um, but his jokes are very the laughs were very far in between. What I felt there was some dead time between things that he was saying, but it picked up when he does say something funny. Um, uh, yeah, he was talking about his experiences with people that come up to him. Um, so I would say Mitchell Lamar was a 7.7 out of 10. And then next we have Emily Kohler. She she runs the open mics at the Hollywood Comedy Room Club. So there are other shows at this venue during the week, and anyone who wants to have put up their 3 minutes, 5 minutes, try new material, Hollywood Comedy, Hollywood Comedy on Melrose is the place to be to do your stuff. Um, I think she talked about her looks a few times. Um, she did mention uh, sleeping at the Hollywood Comedy Club or her car. So I would say um, she got some good laughs, but there's some dead time. So there's some in between, um, like downtime between jokes. So I want to say that she's a 7.8 out of 10. And then the last person to go up was Nick Borsellino. Uh, uh, he has some funny. He has some fun stuff actually. He talks about roller coasters, and then he has a YouTube channel dedicated to it. Now I'm kind of curious what kind of uh, YouTube channel it is. If he's talking about roller coasters, Six Flags, Disneyland, Universal Studios, um, and any other festival, carnival that has like dangerous rides and roller coasters. So, uh, but yeah, some good stuff, and I would say about half the crowd kind of laughed at his stuff most of the time he was up there. So I want to say he was 8.1 out of 10. So yeah, um, I would say a good overall show, and I'm glad to meet some new comics. I would say Alex Clark was the best comic of the night out of the whole group. Uh, so that show was on March 14th. Next show I went to, I did go to the Turquoise Europa Cafe, Pacific Beach. Um, Dalina Horchata was running the show. She was the host. And, another great show. I like coming to like a packed audience room. It was hard to find a seat actually. Um, on this, you got Dalina Horchata herself. We got Harpreet Molly. We got Aaron Gonzalez, Adam Elke, Mimi Harris, Joey Joseph, Billy Orr, Michael Hall, and Taylor Spence. We did have a musical guest, which I just happened to come a little bit late and I missed the performance. But her name is Sally Ray, or Sally. She's the daughter of Aaron Gonzalez. I didn't know that. So I heard that she did pretty well, and so one day I hope to hear the music from Araceli. So, uh, so Delina Orchetta started off the show, and Delina Orchetta has some funny jokes throughout as when she was hosting. Um, the funniest thing that I thought from Delina was when she was trying to auction up the daughter, Araceli and Aaron Gonzalez, mother daughter combo. If you want to go out and have some fun. And that was just kind of funny because it got everybody laughing. So that was probably the best, funniest thing that Delina said all night. I want to say uh, she was a 8.5 out of 10 for just hosting, coming back onto the stage, and then in between say something really funny, and that was probably one of the funniest things of all night actually. So I want to say Dalina Horchata, she was she was a she was an 8.3 out of 10. Uh, Next, we have the first person to go up was Taylor Spencer, and she had her usual jokes. I walked in during her set. Um, I would say Taylor was probably 8.4 out of 10. Next, we have Michael Hall. I think it's the second time I've seen him now. I may have seen him at the ooh, Michael Hall. I saw him at Carla Amador's show at the uh, it was a steakhouse, Imperial Steakhouse, and Michael Hall. He was consistent throughout his whole set, got people laughing every minute. Did pretty well. I want to say he was an 8.7 out of 10. He had really good stuff. Then next person was Billy Orm. I like the fact that Billy Orm did talk about some sports. I want to say Billy Orm. He had some funny jokes, but I think it got a little bit chill vibes for the rest of his set. And I think he brought up the word, uh, but I think he mentioned something about um, something either about serial killers or being a predator. Um, so, and then he pointed to someone behind me because I sat in the front. But um, it was kind of chill for the most part. So I want to say Billy Orr was uh, um, so I sat in the front, but he just someone in the crowd, someone who was behind me. So it was kind of a little awkward, and then the vibe just kind of like went pretty south. So I want to say Billy Orr was a 7.5 out of 10. Um, Next up was Joey Joseph, and he had some jokes about dating, um, and I guess he was trying to do some crowd work and trying to see who was willing to kind of be down for some fun for the night and trying to see who would raise their hand. So, Joey Joseph wasn't too bad. Got some laughs. I want to say he was an 8 out of 10. Next up was Mimi Harris, and um, yeah, um, he was definitely funnier than Billy Orm actually. So Joey Joseph, I want to say he was a 8 out of 10. Billy Orm is 7.5 out of 10. Next up we have Mimi Harris. Um, I would say about 90% it was some old material. She got some good laughs, especially with her turn signal, a sign of weakness bit, and it's good that she got some good laughs throughout her set. Um, and it's nice to see her again. Um, she talks about dating in Boston, being a millennial. Um, mm, so I want to say maybe Harris. Good to see her jokes again, but most of them were pretty much the same. She did incorporate one or two new jokes. But overall, I want to say Mimi Harris was a 8, 8 out of 10. Next, we have Adam Elke. He actually is the owner of the Fourth Wall Comedy Room Club here in San Diego. So I got to see him for the first time, and uh, he has some funny jokes. A little bit of downtime, but he got some laughs throughout his set. Some. Um, um, and also, in a way, by being on the show, it kind of helped him promote not only Old Town but also another comedy club here in San Diego. So I kind of figured, um, Adam Elke, I want to say was a 8.3 out of 10. And then we got Erin Gonzalez. Oh, she was super funny. Um, she talked about how she doesn't like it when customers look at her when she's washing their hair. She's not trying to bond in that sort of way. um, the funniest thing I think I remembered her saying was how she kind of addressed the fact that she could be a cougar, and she just like puts things in perspective, which is kind of cool. And if when you're dating and your age difference is kind of obvious, um, I would say that someone cut off the rest of the receipt. Um, I don't know why I said that. Anywho, um, oh, when she's going out with a younger guy, and then just kind of put things in perspective. That when you're at a certain age, they were this age at that time. Um, so, but the funniest thing was when she said that she's rocking the baby in her arms, and then says one day, you know, I'm gonna, I'm gonna suck that dick one day, and then I got everybody laughing in the room. That was the best thing she said all night. And I want to say Erin Gonzalez, she was a 8.8 out of 10. Next was Harpreet Mali. Guy was super funny. Talks about how he looks Mexican, but he's not Mexican. But he's not a traditional Indian guy. So he talks about a lot of things, and he was one of the funniest of the night. And I'm kind of glad. that he did pretty well, and I think it was my first time seeing him too. And I gotta say, Harpreet and Aaron Gonzalez were the two funniest comics of the show. Harpreet Molly, I want to say he was an 8.7 out of 10. So the best comic of the night was Aaron Gonzalez. Well, that's it for me, guys. NCAA tournament, March Madness is going on. Duke, number one seed, is playing today. They're playing against the number four seed, Arizona. The winner of that game will play against number two seed, Alabama, and number six seed, BYU. And I can't wait because I think I have Duke all the way to the championship. So hopefully, if they win, they beat Arizona, they beat Alabama, beat Florida, beat Houston or Tennessee, and I win my bracket group and I win some money. So go Duke. Hopefully they win tonight. They're playing tonight at 6:40 p.m. I'm going to find a place to watch it. So also, Lakers. They got back Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Rui Hachimura. Now they're going to try to gel together, build that chemistry. There's only like 10 games left in the season, and they're going to try to catch the number three seed or the number two seed from the Houston Rockets or the Denver Nuggets. So um, now it's that push for the playoffs. So hopefully the Lakers build a strong bond with all the players that they have now, build that chemistry, and they can scare a lot of teams in the playoff. And hopefully the Lakers make it to the NBA Finals and they take down the Oklahoma City Thunder or the Boston Celtics or the Cleveland Cavaliers. So stay tuned, guys. And hopefully my Lakers, my Padres, my Duke, Blue Devils, they all do well. And well, yeah, this weekend, San Diego FC finally lost the game. Um, Finally got that loss out of the way. So there are two wins, two draws, and one loss. And this Saturday they're playing against the Los Angeles FC at Snapdragon Stadium this Saturday night. So I'm kind of 50-50 on when I go to the game or just trying to find a place to watch it. So it's going to be a good soccer weekend, good basketball weekend for. So it'll be a fun weekend for me. And the saying goes, um, watch watch some good comedy, watch some good sports, have some good food, have it with some good company, and boom! Tiggy Maximus signing off. Baby. Alright, later, guys. Catch you later.